What's going on, Longhorn Nation? Your boy's back. I'm BJ with Bad Talks. Wow, there won't be any storming the football field in Lubbock tonight. What a ball game! Number 19, Texas escapes Texas Tech 41-34 in regulation to get out of there with the win. We knew it was going to be a tough win. We knew it was going to be a tough place to play. It always is. But man, I don't even know where really start with this. I jotted some stuff down, but it's all over the place. Just like us Longhorns, our emotions were all over the place. But first, let me tip my hat. Texas Tech, excuse me, was down 17 points in the mid of the fourth quarter and scored 17 points less than 5 minutes to come back. They didn't give up. They kept playing Texas hard. They kept fighting. And hey, hats off to him. Cliff Kingsbury is an offensive mind, an offensive master, and for Duffy to play the way he did against Texas and throw for 450 something yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 80 yards rushing against Texas. Hey, hats off to them. You can't knock it for them. They gave everything they had. I mean, you can see their emotion after the end of the game. They were pretty upset after that game, but it is what it is, and Texas pulls it out. All right, let's jump into the football game. First, I want to talk about the coin toss. We won the coin toss and deferred once again, and I understand why we do that. Okay, when I coached, I had a really good offense. All right, that led us to the championship game. We ended up losing the championship game and stuff. Playoffs the year before, some good wins the year before that. Because I had a good offense. So when I flipped the coin and I won the coin toss, I'm taking the ball. Because I want to get down and be up 7-0 before you knew what happened to you. Now they're having to reel their guys in and say, okay, guys, it's okay. Let's go score. They feel like they have to score. We're always in that position. Texas always kicks the ball off. And it seems like every game, the opening drive, whoever we're playing scores. Texas Tech drove down in 8 or 9 plays, 7 points. Marched the football in Texas to open the game up. And Texas come out and didn't. I think we punted on our first series. So whatever reason is, I mean, Tom Herman loves kicking the ball off, and he likes getting the ball in the second half. And of course, I know why. All coaches love doing that, and all coaches do that. But golly, when you got a defense that's riddled with injuries like they are, you would think you'd want to get on. And as good as our offense has been playing this year, you would think they would want to get the football out there first and try to get some points up first. But they didn't. I mean, the offense started off sluggish. Obviously, Tom Herman wanted to shorten the football game. He wasn't slinging around. He wasn't in a hurry up. He was just running his basic offense, running Trey Watson, throwing some little Jordan Humphrey. Little Jordan Humphrey bailed us out early on in the game a lot. Of course, we'll get more into him later because that dude is just a man amongst boys. But that I think our second series or whatever, when we went down, got 3 points. I think it was like 3rd and 10, and he did a stop route and caught it and gave a head jerk on the inside, and just like he's taught, twist those shoulders back out to the boundary and went up the sideline. I mean, it's well coached, as you could tell, and he got up the sideline and picked up 40 yards. And I think we ended up getting 3 points on that play. But we talked about Trey. I brought up Trey Watson. Like Keontae Ingram didn't touch the ball until the second quarter. I'm still not understanding that with Texas. Keontae Ingram's our best running back. He's most explosive. He's our home run threat, I think, in the backfield. And he's just a couple arm tackles away from being gone a few times now. Trey Watson is that small, big back, if you will, man. This kid just drives his head, hits the hole hard, and gets upfield and gets yards. And I love, y'all know this, I talk about it every week. I love me some Trey Watson. But I really like to see Keontae start the game off, man. I don't really know what Stan Drayton's doing there. Again, I'm not in practice, and I'm not, I don't get to sit in the huddle and listen to that. I just can sit outside like a fan, like everybody else, and speculate why. And I can't even do that because I don't know. Don't know why. Early on, Cliff, I think, got a little big for his britches. It was 4th and inches, and they tried a quarterback sneak, and Duffy, all he kind of did was went forward, and Texas got to stop, and that's what put Texas up 17-7. And God, man, I would like to see Texas in those type of situations to put their foot on their throat, man. Whoever they're playing, they did it with Tulsa, they did it with Baylor. They're just doing it, and they did it tonight. They're just not putting teams away. One thing I don't see in this team is I don't know if we have any killer instinct. When we get somebody down like that, I mean, you got the Alabamas and the Clemsons and Georgias and Oklahomas and people like that. It seems like when they get you down 10, 17 points, that's a wrap. West Virginia did it to TCU today. That was a 3-3 ball game up until in the mid-second quarter. West Virginia scored and got a little rhythm going. Shoot, next thing you know, them guys blew it wide open. Yeah, the Mountain Aggies put it on TCU today. So that's Texas just does not have that killer instinct. It's almost like they're trying to figure out ways to lose, man, on defense. Again, I understand we're riddled with injuries. Brandon Jones didn't play again today. Hager's arms wrapped up in a sling. Devontae Davis is not completely healthy. Man, it's tough to watch. That defense is tough to watch. I brought up Davis, man. Davis played well today. I thought he played the best football game he's had all year. He was our MVP on defense anyway. The kid had an interception in the red zone, at the 5-yard line, and then he stripped Duffy when Duffy went for the first down, and Davis reached and swatted that ball back in bounds, and then fell on top of it. Made two big hits, I remember. Davis played well today, I thought. Boyd got him a turnover, and then he got up and spiked the ball. Boyd likes to show his butt a lot, man. For a dude that when he makes a play to show his butt and do this all the time and spike the ball down, man, you sure get beat a lot, brother. Again, you got toasted there late in the game, and we knew it was coming. You're there. You're at the ball. You got good coverage. I'm not taking that away from him, but the dude has atrocious ball skills on the deep ball. Absolutely, and I'll bring that up again later, but he does, man, and it's frustrating to watch. I jotted some things down here that I like what I saw today. Sam, I like the way he moved around in the pocket today. There was a couple times he took a couple big sacks, and I was frustrated with him. I wished he had threw the football away, but he didn't. Couple drives, we were getting down within close to the red zone, and he'd take a 15-yard sack. And Sam, you just can't do stuff like that. But he makes up for it, man. This kid is just playing unreal football right now, and he was sliding around the pocket. He'd run and get yardage need to. He'd fire the ball in. One of his best balls of the day, other than the throw up to little Jordan Humphrey there at the end of the game, and put it on the money. I mean, but little Jordan went up and got it too, obviously. But it was in the last drive, and he's getting sacked, and he gets hit low, and he throws a ball. It was almost like a low inside fastball to Gerard Hurd, and Gerard goes down and gets it for a first down. That was a heck of a throw because that's where he was throwing the football. Only his guy could get it. Dude, Sam broke the Big 12 record today with 200 and what was it? He was at 275 pass attempts with no interceptions. The kid hasn't thrown an interception since week 1. Sam Ehlinger is playing lights out. And they just said on ESPN, or I can't remember what station channel it was, one of the doing highlights, that said that Vegas has next year coming into the season Tua from Alabama, the favorite to win the Heisman, and number 2 is Sam Ehlinger. So people are starting to recognize it. He don't get looked at and talked about a whole lot throughout the country on these different football TV shows before, pregame shows and all that, because Texas defense, and we're losing. We lost the last couple of weeks, but I guarantee you, if Texas was sitting at 9-8-1 or whatever it is, and they'd be all over Sam Ehlinger because the dude's playing lights out, man. I love this kid as our football player. A couple plays that he frustrates me with, but that's just trying to make a play. It's all part of being a quarterback, man. But the kid's throwing dimes out there. And, of course, in my other videos, that's the West Virginia video, I still keep getting messages about Sam's not even close to being Will Greer's league. Sam's not even close to being Murray's league. Come on, man. He don't have to be. The dude is playing lights out for Texas. So if y'all think they're all that much better than Sam, that's cool. Go for it. I mean, you can feel that way if you want. They are seniors, and they won't be back next year. Sam's got 2 more years left. This kid's a true sophomore, man. This is his first year starting at quarterback. So if you don't think he's a good football player or a good quarterback, you got problems. And Aggies, I think that whole Mond better than Sam Ellinger thing's out the window. So y'all can forget that too. So yeah, I've been beating this up, but I mean Sam is doing it. He's all over the place. Let's see. Yeah, here of course I got Boyd being toasted there in the fourth quarter with 13 minutes left in the game. I had a writing trash down because man, it's just. This defense to give up 500 plus yards, man. You're up 17 points midway through the fourth quarter, less than 5 minutes to go, or less than 5 minutes. You allow Texas Tech to score 17 points to tie the football game. They get an onside kick when they're only down. I think they kicked a field goal. They were down 14, got an onside kick, and went and scored in like 5 or 6 plays. Man, I understand. I'm not making excuses, but there is injuries. I mean, when you got 4 starters out, and you got 4 true freshmen or 3 true freshmen, a true sophomore coming in and taking these roles. It's tough, especially when you got a team like Tech that can throw the ball all over the place. But what's not tough is tackling. Oh my gosh, these guys Texas defense just arm tackling, and it's not just the young guys. I'm not gonna put it on them. I mean, it's our defensive linemen. Our linebackers have to be the worst in the Big 12. I love Gary Johnson. I love his enthusiasm. I love his work ethic. But golly, man, him and Wheeler are constantly out of place. They don't trust it. They see something and they bite real fast because they want to go make the play, and it's going back the other way, man. These guys are just, I don't know. They fell completely off. I wrote down right here 4 stops with the refs. Man, how many times Big 12 refs going to review stuff? Oh, my gosh. I'm glad those 2 targeting penalties on Tech was overturned and didn't because they weren't targeting. And then the one on Wheeler wasn't targeting. He used his shoulder. So they did a good job of overturning them and not calling them targeting. But good gosh, man, they take forever under there. So let's go over some stats. Sam today threw 326 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the biggest stat again is 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers from this Texas team. Golly, man, you can't ask for anything better than that, man. This guy's just playing lights out. I'm telling you, Sam is this football team right now where he's carrying us. And it was a Sam Ellinger, Lil Jordan Humphrey show today. It really was. I mean, Ingram had 84 yards rushing with a touchdown. Trey Watson had 58 yards. Rushing. I mean, Lil Jordan had 8 receptions, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's awesome, man. And, of course, he sealed it with that 30-yard when he went up, mossed a Texas Tech DB and to score the final touchdown to go ahead and seal the game with 21 seconds left. And then Duvernay had 4 catches for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Duvernay had a big-time catch. Dude was all in his grill, pass interference, still brought it down for a touchdown. Tell you what, man, Duvernay, there's one thing Duvernay, Humphrey, and Colin Johnson, who didn't play today, all have in common. They're all juniors. So they all could come back. Colin, Lil Jordan may go pro. Duvernay's not going pro. Man, if those 3 come back, or 2 out of 3 come back, with Sam Ellinger back, same running backs back other than Trey Watson, most of our lines coming back, Sam Cosme, right tackle, dudes, you don't hear about him, throughout the game, and that's a good thing when it's an offensive lineman. He don't make penalties. Anderson, he's had numerous calls on him. I like him. He's a good blocker, but man, he'll fall start and he'll hold you. Speaking of penalties, we had a couple big penalties that brought some good runs back, good pass plays, quarterback draw. Holding brought it back. And it was always by an upperclassman. I just don't get it, man. Like, it seems like every time, this is me anyway, every time we make a big play, I'm looking down in the bottom right of my screen to see if the little yellow flag thing pops up because I'm so used to it now. Man, we got to get through with those. But like I said, Duvernay had 2 touchdowns as well. And then Dicker, the kicker, he went 2 for 2 and had a 52-yard touchdown, or touchdown, a 52-yard field goal was the longest that he made today. So yeah, overall, fun game at first. It was a slow game. Tom Herman wanted to speed the game up and get it over with quick. So he was using the clock. He was running the football. Did a good job running the football, I thought. But then it kind of backfired towards the end whenever Duffy and Texas Tech high-powered offense started throwing the ball around. That Vasher kid, he's good. I'm telling you, man, that Tech receivers, they're always good. I mean, they're always good. Cliff Kingsbury does a great job of scheming. So you can't beat him up about it. I mean, the guy's good at what he does with the recruits he gets anyway. But to close us out, we'll go over the good, the bad, and the ugly of today. I thought the good, should I say great, for Sam and Lil Jordan. I mean, it was those two guys stole the show tonight on offense, which was phenomenal to watch. And we had some guys step up. Colin Johnson was out. So Hurd, I forgot to look at Hurd's stats, but I think he had 5 or 6 catches, 40-something yards, 50-something yards. Hurd hadn't had that big of a game all year. He hadn't been thrown to that many times this year. Hurd makes some big catches tonight for first down. It's good to see Gerard Hurd, man. This kid he's been through it all. He came in, he was a backup quarterback behind Tyrone Swoops. He was a starting quarterback against Cal. We ended up losing that game because of an extra point. Man, then he's a receiver, and he's a backup receiver. This kid is exactly the epitome of football player that you want on your football team, and Gerard Hurd. Devontae Davis stepped up today. We haven't called his name a whole lot all year. Dude played good football today. Like I said, had an interception, had a fumble recovery. And all of our fumble recoveries were in the red zone today, which is great. I mean, that took 21 points off the board. So kudos to Devontae Davis. And then another good is 3 turnovers forced in the red zone, like I just said. And then the last good, Texas got the win. 5-2 in Big 12, still in the hunt. Oklahoma squeaked by Oklahoma State by 1 point today, all because of an extra point. But that game really didn't matter. We need West Virginia to win out and West Virginia to beat Oklahoma that last week of the year. And of course, Texas went out, which will be tough to do. And then the bad, I thought the O-line didn't play very good today. They gave up 5 sacks. Sam was running for his life a few times. They stepped up in the pocket and got away a couple times. But I didn't think the O-line played very well today. They run blocked okay, but the running backs, they had a lot of yaks today. Not a lot of yaks, but they had majority of the yards might have been yaks because they just didn't block very well today. And I like our O-line. They're not great by any means, but they're tough in there. So they just had a rough day. DBs didn't play very well, and I wrote here young guys. I mean, we got a lot of injuries out there. First half, I thought they played okay. Fourth quarter, they didn't. And then another bad is we let them come back down 17 points. The ugly, the defense for the 3rd week in a row has given up 500-plus yards. Again, I know there's injuries, but good gosh, man, that's a lot of yards. Texas, Todd Orlando, you got to get something figured out because we got a tough one next week. That Purdy kid can throw the ball all over the field. Another ugly is our injuries. Man, we got some key players out right now. We really got to get back, especially if we're going to make a run here at the end and beat Iowa State and then beat Kansas and then get ready for, hopefully, maybe the Big 12 championship. Who knows? Again, we're outside looking in. I'm not saying we're getting in by any means. We don't control our own destiny. We're on the outside looking in. And then I thought our linebackers are ugly today. They haven't played well since Oklahoma game, the first 3 quarters in the Oklahoma game anyway. I'm a big Gary Johnson fan, but he's just not playing well. And Wheeler, oh my gosh, dude, that guy's out of place almost every play, it seems like. He's in there because he's a senior, I guess, but not very good. And ugly, Boyd's deep ball skills. Very ugly, son. I'm sorry, man. But we'll wrap that up. Texas got the win. What can you ask for? 5-2 in the Big 12 now. This coming Saturday on Longhorn Network at 7 o'clock. Iowa State Cyclones coming to take a very hot Iowa State team. Purdy's throwing the ball all over the place. They got big wide receivers, scary wide receivers, and we got to get some of our DBs back. Or starting safety Jones back anyway. That'll help. Caden Stearns, hope he don't have a concussion after the day. I know he got knocked out of the game. But it's a crucial game. They only got 2 losses in the Big 12. They've beaten West Virginia. We got to beat these guys. All right, I'm at my 20 minutes, so I'm going to roll out of here, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like what you heard, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, hit thumbs down and tell me why. I could ask you not to be vulgar and all that, but if you don't like it, you're going to be that way anyway. People do it all the time, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I just pray for you when I go to sleep at night. But guys, once again, good victory, and I appreciate you tuning in. Hit the subscribe button for me, and we'll see you on probably Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe even Thursday for the Iowa State preview. Hook 'em.